Thank you, Bob. Um, so, thanks for the introduction. My name is Phil Clayton. I live in Texas. I've been playing bridge, as Bab said, since I was 16, so about 40 years now. I don't have a Texas accent, and I probably will never get one. I love the game. I don't play as much as I would like. Unfortunately, I hardly ever play in any club games because I have a full-time job. I used to be on site at Toyota, our national headquarters in Plano, but my company has switched accounts on me, which is actually something I requested, and I'm now up in Washington State about half the time. I'm going to be up in Seattle next week, for instance. So if you happen to be at the club on Tuesday night, I'll probably be there. The ACBL and BBO have started these NABC online tournaments, and I think they've had them for about 3 years now. I don't play in them all the time, but I think I've played in them maybe 3 or 4 times. They happen before a national starts, and you can get some pretty good points for playing in them. I think this year we had something like 2,200 or 2,300 players playing it. And I don't know, for some reason I just decided that I wanted to take this one seriously. So after the first day, I had about a little over a 70% game. It felt like I played pretty good, and I think I was sitting in about 7th place. And then the second day, I had a little under a 70%. And I think that moved me up to 3rd. And there was a couple of players that I hadn't recognized in 1st and 2nd, but they were putting up good games. And then Monday evening, I came home from work, found a quiet place, and took it really seriously. And played slowly, which is not very typical for me. And got through the 24 hands in about probably an hour and a half. And if you've ever played in one of these, it'll give you kind of an estimated score. So Texas is, Central Time, and I got done like probably 7:30, and I think I had to wait about 3.5 or 4 hours for the final results to come in. And then they posted, and I won it, and I was really happy about it. So it was really cool. What I've got for you today is I picked out, so I've got 3 hands that I played in the tournament, and I'm going to load them, and I'm just going to ask you guys questions as we go along, and just type to the table, and I'll see your answers. I'll see your, and if you can ask me questions as well. But there's 3 hands, and then if we have time, there's a 4th hand that I actually created that I talked a little bit about on Bridge Winners. That I thought was a kind of a fun hand that I'll load as well. So this is my first hand. So what's our opening bid here, folks? Yeah, thank you. All right, so yeah, this is a pretty obvious one no trump opening. We have a balance 15. And by the way, one little piece of advice that I would like to give you is it's good policy to open one no trump frequently. The reasons for that is that auctions that start with one no trump tend to go real easy. Because we always practice our no trump structure, we practice our stamen, and we practice our transfers, this, that, and the other. So auctions tend to go really smoothly. And the other thing is, like, even if I chose to downgrade this hand, which frankly I would never consider doing, I have great honor structure. I have a queen 10, I have a king 10, I have an ace queen. Those are called 10 aces. And I have an ace 9, which has some combining value too. And even if like if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I said, I'm not going to open this one no trump, I'm still going to open it one no trump for the simple reason that everybody else on the planet is going to open this hand one no trump. I think it's bad policy to downgrade on these types of hands. I will sometimes upgrade, a good 14 count with like a good 5-card suit, like a 5-card minor, into one no trump. That tends to work pretty well. I will sometimes downgrade an 18 into one no trump, but I can't remember, maybe once in the last 5 years, that I downgraded any 15 count out of one no trump, just because my expectation is that everybody else. Okay, so I open up one no trump, and I'll get through this kind of quickly. And there's a pass, and partner bids Stamen, and there's a pass, and I don't have a 4-card major, so I bid 2 diamonds, and it goes pass, and partner is done and bids 3 no trump. And it goes pass, pass, pass. Okay, so the opening lead was the Queen of Hearts. Okay, so I look at this dummy. Now, if this were teams, I'm gonna just count my tricks. Okay, because I want to guarantee 9. I'm going to do whatever I can to guarantee 9. If it's match points, I'm going to tend to try to take. What's wrong with the bidding? In the South is playing this. Are we not? Can you not see the South hand and the North hand? Oh, do I? All right. Well, I wonder how it started. I don't have an extra pass. They go in 3 no trump, pass, pass, pass. So what do you guys see on the table right now? The South hand only. Let me see something. Okay, guys, I'm showing the South open 1 no trump, North bid 2 clubs, South bid 2 diamonds, North bid 3 no trump. And that matches the hands. All right, I'll try and doing, but I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, how about now? No? All right, let me undo it to the beginning. Okay, so we're good now? Okay, so we have a pass. Okay, things look good? Okay, all right. 2 diamonds. That is so weird because it looked good on my screen. Okay, everything looks money. Okay, all right. Not sure what's happened, but thanks for keeping me straight. Okay, so let's kind of go back to where I was. So yes, South. Everybody knows that South always plays the hand, right? Okay, so if this was teams, I would just instantly count my tricks. I can count. I'm going to get a heart trick on the lead. I've got 5 clubs as 6, and 3 spades as 9, and the ace of diamonds is 10. Okay, so At match points, though, I want to try to do what I can to, make an extra trick if I can. Okay, so we're going to play small. East plays the deuce, and is there any point to holding up here? Yeah, I don't think so either. First off, who do you think has the ace of hearts? It's probably West. I can tell you that it's not 100%, but it's probably West. Okay, there's just a good chance that East would hop up with the ace of hearts just to make their partner's life easy, but it's not 100%. So I'm going to win the king, and then so we've got 10 tricks in the bag. So let's start running our long suit. Okay, there's no reason to try and play spades at this point. If spades are 3-3, or if the jack is dropping doubleton, that's going to be evident later on. Okay, but it's just good policy to run your long suit in situations like this, especially when they don't know too much about your hand. So I play the ace of clubs, and everybody follows. And now I play a club, and my left-hand opponent shows out, and they pitch up hard. Now, I thought that was a really interesting discard because West knows that their hearts are good. Okay, now why is that? This is kind of a tough question, but West should know that their heart suit is good. Why is that? Yes, exactly. We did 2 diamonds on the auction, right? So we know that. So West knows that we can't have 4 hearts. So their ace jack of hearts is going to be, taking down whatever hearts we have left in our hand. So in other words, West is discarding a winner. Okay, so that's I think that's going to be information that's going to be really key later on. Okay, so we play another club. And West discards a diamond. Now, there's something I could do here that I didn't do, and I'm not sure that I should have, but as I look at this hand, I considered playing 2 top spades, because if the jack double 10 of spades drops, I kind of need to do that now, right? But if that were the case, I think West might have been discarding differently, but I might have made a mistake. Okay, so I probably should cash a couple of spades right now, but I chose to just keep smashing clubs out. Okay, now West discarded something really weird, and they discarded this. Okay, so I'm convinced that. So how many hearts do we think that West started with? And I'll answer your question in a second, Aloysius. So how many hearts do we think that West started with? They led the queen, they discarded the 6, and now they're discarding the ace of hearts. Any guesses? Did they start with 4? Did they start with 5? Or did they start with 6? Okay, so, all right, let me answer your question. Do robots signal with discards? That's a good question. I've never seen any discernible pattern on their discards. Robots will frequently signal with attitude on the lead. If the partner leads like a high card, they'll signal attitude. I have a theory that the robots are using upside down suit preference. No one else believes me, but I think I've seen it too often for it to be not to be true. I don't know. So, but yeah, I mean, it's more important to be counting the hands. So going back, egg 46, I would agree with you that West started with 5 hearts, because if they had 6 hearts, you know, if I've got ace, queen, jack, 6 of hearts, and maybe nothing else, but certainly I would do it with an outside card, I'm probably finding a call over 1 no trump. I'm just not passing 1 no trump. So I had a pretty good read that my left-hand opponent started with 5 hearts. Okay, so I know they've got 5 hearts. I know they've got 1 club. They appear to be gripping 4 spades, and that would leave them with 3 diamonds. Okay, so at this point, I think my righty also discarded a heart. And at this point, I played my 5th club. This person pitched a spade. I pitched a diamond. And now they pitched a heart. Okay, so are we paying attention? How many hearts do we think that our left-hand opponent has left? And if our hypothesis is right, well, okay, they discarded, so they led, yeah, they got 1 heart left, and it's exactly the jack. Okay, so if our hypothesis is right here, we can play a few spades. And you know, this is a spade play I might have made earlier, but chose not to. And yeah, so this person was clutching jack 4 of spades this whole time, and now would just play a small heart and blot out their jack, right? So now they exited the jack of spades, and the hand's kind of over at this point. So now I played a diamond in my hand. And this person played small. And I played the 10 of hearts. And that person played the spade and a diamond and the last diamond, which I lost. So I don't remember what my score was on this. I think I had a pretty good board. One thing I can tell you, I don't know if you read the interview or not, but one thing I was really proud of in my tournament is you're playing 24 boards a day. That's 72 boards total. I think out of those 72, I had less than 20 that were negative scores. And I think my worst score on any board was like 15 to 20%. It wasn't anywhere close to a 0. So I was pretty happy with that. On the other hand, I only had maybe 2 or 3 absolute cold tops, 100%. In these tournaments, I don't know how you guys know about the structure, but the boards get played 28 times. And you're always playing like one board against a different set of 27 other players. So, when something gets played 28 times, it's not too likely that you're going to get a stone cold top, and it's possible. So, all right. So we need 460. It was probably an 85 or 90% board. You guys have any questions about this hand? That's my Maltese. Certainly does not have respect for the table. Any questions? If not, I'll just move on to the next. Okie dokie. Do you find that opening 14 high card points with 1 no trump is a good idea with bots? Yes, I do. If it's a good 14. I won't do it on any 14 because you have to be able to take tricks. And if you've just got some 4-3-3 or 4-4-3-2 14 count, your hand just isn't that good. And just too often you're going to get to if you've got a balanced hand, you're going to get to some no play 3 no trump, and it's not going to work out well. I mean, it could work. Anything could work, right? I mean, I noticed a couple of hands that I played that I didn't get great results because there were, somebody was swinging on a hand and, just got some great result. So, yeah, sure. All right. So here's the second board I want to present. I don't know what day this is from either. I apologize. So, y'all see my hand now? Oh, let's see. This is going to be a problem because West is actually dealer here, but I think I can fake it. So I'm just going to pretend because West is dealer. Oops, sorry. Actually, West is dealer. I did that right. Okay, West is dealer, and they open a club, and my partner passes. Yeah, spot cards are absolutely true. It's good to have good spots. So my right hand opponent hit a spade, which is my best suit, and I passed. And my left hand opponent hit 2 clubs, and it goes pass, pass. Okay, so here we are. We have the best hand at the table. That's one of the rules of engagement. We know that we're always going to have the best hand. So my left hand opponent could have a 13 count, but they're not going to have like a 14 count or even a 15 count. With more than that, they're probably not bidding 2 clubs, right? But I have a little bit of safety here because I know I have the best hand. So it pays to compete in these tournaments knowing that you're just always going to have the best hand. So would you guys consider bidding here? Any takers? Well, I can't bid 1 note from. 2 spades. I got a 2 spade bidder. Maybe here, but not a real table. No. So there's one factor that to me makes it really attractive to bid. And what is that? Any takers? Any guesses? Yeah, I do have positional values over the spade bidder. That's true, and that's certainly some sort of advantage. First off, if I had the 10 of spades, I think I would have an automatic 2 spade bid. Okay, but what does it for me is because of the vulnerability. Okay, we're non-vulnerable versus non-vulnerable. Okay, and a little takeaway that I want you guys to be picking up here is this is the best vulnerability to compete. Okay, sorry, my dog's gonna freak out here in a second. This is the best vulnerability to compete. Okay, because if we go down, we're picking up 50 a trick, or we're losing 50 a trick. So if they're making 90 or 110 in 2 clubs, then that's a pretty easy price to pay. Versus if we make our contract, like for instance, if I could make 110 here, I need to beat 2 clubs. I have to get it down 3 to beat 110, right? So, is it possible that I can get doubled here? It's possible, especially in a really good game, you might get doubled. But even at the national level, it doesn't happen as often as you might think. So I did 2 spades. Okay, and it went pass, pass, pass. Okay, so the opening lead was a spade. Okay, so y'all can see dummy now? Okay, so how am I liking this? Well, I'm going to take 3 spade tricks, maybe 4. A club is 5. I might be able to develop something in hearts, and I might be able to develop something in diamonds. Okay, So what's our approach on this hand? Is it to draw trump? Is it to try to establish a side suit? What do you think our approach is? Would an opener think two spades is a forcing raising club, seeking 3-no trump? Well, I mean, they passed out the deal in 2 clubs, so I'm just balancing with 2 spades. Maybe you've got the positions off or something. So anyway, what's our approach here? What do we want to do? First off, where do we want to win this trick? You know, this is my first decision. Do I want to win this trick in dummy, or do I want to win it in hand? You know, I mean, when we were beginners, we were taught to win the short honor first, which would mean winning the ace of spades. Okay? But yeah, so I think I agree with RCD that I want to get the diamonds going here. Okay? But if they hold off on the diamond, I'm going to need a way back there. Right? So I played low, and this person played low, and you know, here we should win our king. There's no, if we win the queen, we're kind of advertising that we have the king, so winning the king gives a little bit of doubt to the queen. Okay, so which diamond should I play? Or if I'm going to play a diamond, which diamond should I play? Yeah, nine of diamonds. Thank you, Eddie Haskell. Yep, I played the nine of diamonds because I want my left-hand opponent to duck this. Okay, and if they think their partner has the 10, they're going to know that I have to win this trick and dummy, right? So they ducked it, thank you, and I played low and won the trick. Okay, that's really good news for me because I know that at least the queen is on my left and possibly the ace queen. So now I play the 10, and they hop with the ace, and this person plays small. And now I got a heart shift. All right, that doesn't cause me any grief. And this person won the ace. Okay, what's going on in the club suit here? How do we think the layout of the club suit is? Six-0 is certainly possible. You know, I mean, you know, usually when somebody opens and opens a club and reboots a club, they're going to have 6. And that's kind of what I was expecting too. But my right-hand opponent shifted to a club, which I thought was kind of surprising. So now I know the clubs are 5-1, and not only do I know the clubs are 5-1, my left-hand opponent must have had some reason to rebid 2 clubs on a 5-backer. Okay, so I won the ace of clubs, and now I played a spade, and my left-hand opponent showed out. I go, well, that's kind of unfortunate. So now I know that my left-hand opponent has 5 clubs and a singleton spade. So therefore, they've either got 4 diamonds, or they have 4 hearts. Okay, but I can't do much about it either way. But I cashed the king of diamonds, and I got rid of a club, and now the queen drops. Well, that's good news. Okay, now I can cash the jack of diamonds. My right-hand opponent has to follow. So I pitch that. And I think this person probably pitched another club. Okay, we're doing really good at this point, right? I think we've got 8 tricks in the bag because we're still going to make our queen of spades and our king of hearts. So we're going to be making our contract. However, you know, they look like they're playing kind of a crummy 5-1 club fit, which, you know, may not play so great. So we got any other tricks up our sleeves at this point? So I played a club, you know, I played a low club, and this person just, it actually doesn't matter what they do, because if they rough high, I can just pitch a heart, right? And then I'm going to make 3 more tricks in the end game. But if they discard, now I can score my baby trump, because I know my right-hand opponent has the jack 10 8 of spades left. So this is a way for me to just sort of like gain an extra trick in the end game. So at this point, I just cash my queen of spades, and they follow, and I cash my king of hearts, which is we know is going to win. And something sort of funny happens on this trick, right? Now, my right-hand opponent has only trumps left and has to rough their partner's trick. And then they win that from the jack of spades. So I thought this is a really fun deal because when dummy came down, it looked like I only had like 5 or 6 tricks at the most, and I ended up taking 9. And the reason the reason I took 9 was because number one, I managed my entries well. I got diamonds moving first, and I was able to finagle an extra trick in the end game. So plus 140 was a really good board. It kind of surprised me how good it was because I think 2 clubs is going down 1 or 2. It looks like it might go down 3, but I don't remember any 150s our way. So anyway, so takeaways here, you're non-vulnerable versus non-vulnerable, so get in there and compete. And then just, play it the best you can play it. Any questions? Nothing? Okay. All right, let's go to the third board. Actually, I'm gonna choose a hand that I played from last weekend, and then I'll go to no. I'll go to this one. I think you guys will probably like this hand. I think this hand will be right in your wheelhouse. I actually thought about doing this hand first because I thought it was kind of instructive on a lot of levels. So we're dealer. How bad was West 2 club bid? Well, that's an interesting comment. There are some people that will not rebid 1 no trump with a single pin in their partner's suit under any circumstances. And I guess the robots are programmed like that they would rather rebid a 5-card suit than rebid a no trump with the singleton. There's no other option here. We can't rebid 2 hearts. That's a reverse that shows at least an ace more than that hand had. So it's either 2 clubs or 1 no trump. So I don't know. I think it's a style thing. I don't think it's too bad. I've had partners that play like the robots where they will not rebid 1 no trump at the singleton. Most of my partners tend to be more accepting of that style. So I would tend to rebid a no trump of that hand and not feel too bad about it. But yeah, good question. Any thoughts about this hand? We're dealer. We can 30. 1 no trump might be more than likely to induce a 2-heart bid if partner has 4. That's also true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, 1 no trump it certainly makes it easier to get to 2 hearts, but it also makes it easier to get to 2 spades. So, there's a convention that you guys can look up later called reverse flannery that a lot of people play, where they play like 1 club, 2, and a 2-heart response shows like 5 spades and 4 hearts. I don't want to go into that during this session. You can look it up on your own if you want. And by the way, when you Google reverse flannery, you'll get some Irish poems that are kind of dirty, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, so I'm going to open 1 spade. I'm too good for 1 no trump, and even if okay, so here's something else that I didn't mention before. If I have a 17 count and a good 5-card suit, I will upgrade out of 1 no trump. I find that that's good policy. I've been doing that for about 20 years, and even though I might be going against the field, I think like for instance, if you gave me this hand without the jack of clubs, I would still open my hand 1 spade because I have a good 5-card suit and a good 17 count. So here I have no problem opening a spade. and it goes pass. And my partner did 2 only spades, and it goes pass. All right. So here's a battlefield decision for you. Now, if this was teams, I'm probably not gonna stop short of game with these cards, just because my hand is so good. And if I catch a good hand, I'm gonna make it. If I catch an okay hand, I might make it. I might get this defense. We can't afford to miss games at teams, but at match points, it's a different story, right? We want a bid game if it's percentage, but we don't want to just be staggering into games going down. That's not good match point strategy. So what do we do over 2? Are we good enough to do 4 spades on this? Okay, so we have a 3-heart game tri-suit. I don't know. So held suit game tri. I mean, the thing is, we've got held suits all over the place. If partner has the king of diamonds, that's a good card. If partner has like the king queen of clubs, those are good cards. If partner has the king queen of hearts, yeah, I don't really know which suit either. I think the robots play 2 no trump here is artificial. To make some sort of like short suit try or something, or long. I forget how they play it, but so I just did a very simple 3 spades, which is just, hey, if you like your hand, bid 4. Okay, that's all it is. So it's almost like more of a quantitative ask here, right? Because if my partner's a maximum, I want to bid 4, and if partner's not a maximum. By the way, robots tend to pull 3 no trump to form a major a lot. Unfortunately, it's really hard to play it when you have an 8-card major fit. It's really hard to play 3 no trump. For some reason, the robots love to bid form a major. But with this type of hand, especially at match points, and even at imps, I may want to play this hand in 3 no trump. It's quite possible that we can just peel 9 tricks of no trump and 10 tricks is hopeless, for instance, right? So I just did a quiet 3 spades. My partner passed, so I ended up playing 3 spades. So I got the lead of the ace of clubs. Okay, so let's count our tricks. See how we're looking. We've got 5 spades, a heart is 5, a club is 6 after the lead, and a diamond is 7. So, my first reaction was, I'm really happy that I didn't bid 4 spades on this. Because 4 spades looks like it would be a lot of work. So, I played small, and I think my right-hand opponent encouraged, because the robots do play attitude, they do play attitude signals at trick 1. And now my left-hand opponent, voice gone. Okay, all right. Not sure what happened. So now they continue with the 3 of clubs, and I win the king. And play the jack. Boom. Babs, my voice is good, right? Okay. So I played spade to my ace. And I played a spade back to the board. And everybody followed. And there's a couple ways I could do things at this point. It doesn't really matter that much. You might think, I want to rough the club to eliminate that suit. And you can certainly do that, but there's no hurry for that. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get our opponents to lead hearts. Okay? That's really, because even if I were to end play my left-hand opponent to lead a diamond, I'm still going to lose 2 hard tricks anyway, right? So at this point, I just finessed the diamond, and this person played small, and unfortunately I lost, or fortunately in a sense, because now it's looking like 4 spades is utterly hopeless. Okay, and now they just, oops, they didn't exit that one. Now they just exited a small diamond, and I played low, and my left-hand opponent won the jack. Okay, now walk me through the next 3 tricks. What do we do? Spade, and then what? So spade, where do we win the spade? Spade to the dummy, strip the club, and then do what? Then exit the diamond, exactly. Right, right. Yeah. So this hand sort of plays itself. So play spade up, and we rough the club. And now we exit the diamond, and now we're down in kind of classic, strip and in play type hand. And my left-hand opponent can do one of 2 things. They can play a diamond, which gives me a rough slough, or they can play a heart. Now my left-hand opponent chose to exit the queen of hearts, okay, which made my life very easy. I won the ace, gave up a heart, and I made 9 tricks. Okay, if my left-hand opponent would have played a small heart, okay, and my right-hand opponent would have won, now I kind of have a choice here. I can either play my left-hand opponent to have the other heart on her, but if I think my right-hand opponent started with king queen, then I just have to duck this trick, and now my right-hand opponent is in play. But I just played for split hearts and made 9 tricks, and it was not a crazy difficult hand, but it was still probably a 75 or 80% board. King denies the queen unless East is expert. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a 4-card ending, so if East is expert, then East should be counting my hand out. We don't always want to declare our holdings in critical suits, especially in the end game. But yeah, I mean, you can generally trust the king not to show the queen. Early in the game, even an expert will not have the queen here, unless they're playing a very, very deep game. But in the end game, it's pretty likely that my left hand, in the end game, anything could happen. So, all right, I'm going to show you guys one more hand. So, this is a hand that I prepared especially for today, because I thought it was a really fun hand. And, in the last 45 minutes, we've talked about some of the technical aspects of the game, but there's a human aspect to the game too. So I want to kind of set the context here. So, I'm playing in a sectional Swiss in Dallas, actually a town called Richardson, on Sunday. And on my left is a world champion. I'm not gonna say who it is, because I'm not gonna speak that highly. Okay, but he's a good friend of mine. My wife and I go out to dinner with him and him and his significant other all the time, and he's a great friend. He doesn't have a lot of respect for the person that I was playing with, but I have a lot of respect for my partner because he's won 3 or 4 national titles, even though I don't agree with some of the things that he did on this hand. So anyway, my partner's dealer and opened a club, and our right-hand opponent passed, and I bid a spade. We're not playing any kind of strong jump shifts. I don't pass, and my partner now bids trump, and it goes pass. Okay, so what would your bid be with mine? Three diamonds. Okay. So 3 diamonds for us would be some sort of like kind of like a new minor forcing. But if my partner opened a diamond, 3 diamonds would still be like our check back bid. So 3 diamonds would ask, yeah, something forcing. We don't want to, we don't want to be languishing in a hard score with a hand this good. So 3 diamonds would be asking for more, tell me more about your hand. So partner's going to show me 4 hearts, partner's going to show me 3 spades, and if partner has neither of those things, partner's going to do 3 no trump. But I'm not really concerned about the spade suit. I mean, presumably my partner has a balanced hand, and I've got 7 of the things. Yes, 4 clubs is Gerber. I thought about bidding Gerberkin, but there's an important card that I want to find out about, and that's the queen of spades. And if I start with 4 clubs, I can never find out about that card. So I just chose to bid 3 spades. I would pass. And now my partner bid 4 clubs. Okay, what do you guys think 4 clubs is? It's not Gerber. I will tell you it's not Gerber. So it's a control. Okay, it's a control but specific spade tolerance and control. Okay, I kind of like that answer, and I like the one that Bab said. The reason I don't think it's natural is because my partner rebid 2 no trump. Okay, so I know that my partner's clubs can't be that long. And by the way, my partner has about 20,000 master points. So he's played the game before. At least I thought before this hand. So I was fully expecting a club cue bid and some sort of spade support. Maybe not 3 pieces, but he's got something in spades. Because my 3 spades is a slam try. My 3 spades cannot be passed. We have a way to sign off in 3 spades that I won't go into, but just suffice it to say that my 3 spades is forcing. Okay, so I love my hand. Okay, so I just did key card and a pass, and I'm expecting my partner to understand that my key card is 4 spades because I've rebid them and I've understood their 4 club bid to show a control. Okay, now my partner surprised me a little bit, and he bid 5 diamonds. Now, a lot of you probably play 1430, and when I lived in Southern California, everybody and their dog played 1430. But in Texas, for some reason, there's a very high percentage of good players here that still play old-fashioned 0314. I play occasionally with Bart Bramley, who recently got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He plays 0314. And about 3 months ago, I had the amazing honor of playing with Bob Hammond, and he plays 0314. So there's still some good players that play 0314, and this specific partner also plays 0314. So I'm looking at 2 key cards myself. Okay, and so partner can't have 4, right? That would give us too many. So can partner have 1? I mean, it's barely possible. We have a 14 count. We're expecting our partner to have 18 or 19. So that would give us 32 or 33. So there would barely be room for missing 2 aces. But it was kind of late in the day. My spidey sense told me that something was wrong here. So I just, for good, bad, or indifferent, I just did 5 no trump. Oops, sorry. So us guys, we don't have a 6th sense, but we do get a spidey sense. Okay, and 5 no trump is specific kings. And oops, God, I can't get this right. And my partner did 6 clubs. Wasn't sure what was going on. I mean, I figured he had a king of clubs, right? So I said, what the heck? I'm going to bid 7 spades. Okay, so the opening lead was a low heart. Okay, now let's look at partner's hand for a second. Okay, first off, partner has a singleton spade. What would you guys have bid over 1 spade with this hand? Assuming you open a club and your partner bids a spade, what would you guys bid? What are your choices? Three clubs is possible. Three clubs, okay. 2 votes for 3 clubs. Any other choices? By the way, 3 clubs for 3 no trouble. Yeah, okay. My choice is actually, yeah, thank you, Ken. 2 diamonds is probably my choice here. The reason that I don't like 3 clubs is my club suit is good, it's not great. Yeah, I wouldn't have bid 3 diamonds because 3 diamonds shows something else. But I like 2 diamonds. 2 diamonds is like it's a reverse, it's not game forcing. I'm lying about my diamond length by 1. I should have 4 diamonds to make that bid, but sometimes I need, sometimes I have to make up a bid. But the bid that I really don't like is 2 no trump because you're lying about your shape a lot. I mean, it's really hard to construct a hand that has a singleton spade that wants to bid 2 no trump. Okay, so I was really expecting the 3rd spade here. Okay, now something really weird happened at this point at the table. So my left-hand opponent, who's on opening lead, gets visibly agitated. So he starts giving my partner a bunch of guff about ha ha ha, and he looks at me and goes, "You thought your partner's 4 club bid showed a Q bid in support of spades." And 2 no trump is it's just terrible. He's just like going on and on and on. But he's visibly agitated. Okay, so this is like really important takeaway here. Okay, now there's someone to tell me the inference about this opening lead against this contract. Why is a heart an unexpected lead against this auction? What do we normally lead against grand slams? Trump lead. Yes, we normally lead a trump. Right? So there's no point to leading a singleton against the grand. Because if and a singleton is going to tend to open up a suit where we don't want to open up a suit. So most of the time you're kind of expecting a trump lead here. Now, there's a really good player from, I think he's from Chicago. His name is John Diamond. He's been on a lot of winning teams, and he's a good player. And he intentionally bid a grand slam off the queen of trump for the simple reason that, okay, so let's think about the trump suit for a second. Okay, you might need to put your thinking cap on this for this, but what are the 2 ways that we? Okay, so obviously any doubleton honor is going to work, right? Yeah, well, it's a finesse or draw. Now, this situation is a little unusual because we can't take advantage of queen 4 of spades in the east hand. Well, okay, we have 7 spades, 2 hearts, 2 clubs, and 3 diamonds. That's 14. Okay. So there's a hand other than to try to figure out the trump suit. Okay, so in a sense, it's an easy hand. So normally the finesse is correct. However, the fact that A visibly agitated went down the king there. Okay. B, the fact that my left-hand opponent led a trump or led a heart. Okay, so that led me to believe that my left-hand opponent probably had. So I, for lack of anything better, I want a heart in my hand, cash ace of spades. I cast the king of spades and came tumbling down. Now, at the time, he actually thought that I had 8 spades, and we just got into a lucky contract. But when I had to draw the last trump, and his partner followed, he was pretty spades. Their teammates stopped in 6 spades at the other table, and chose to take a spade finesse. So, by the way, I actually went against the odds here because with queen doubleton on side, we're always going to pick up the suit, right? So the critical cases are queen doubleton on my left or queen third on my right. And you can check the math later on if you want.
but there's queen thirds on the right. So it's 6-4 that the finesse is better than the draw, right? But or 3-2. But you know, for the reasons that I said, he's yammering about dumming, and he's really agitated about dumming because he's thinking that we just got to a slam off the queen of trump that and we just that was a nice pickup. That was non-blockable. Did you thank left-hand opponent for being upset? I just kind of sat there and put my hand on the table and didn't say a whole lot. But you know, on the drive home, I was, you know, and so many. This will be my 40th year playing bridge. There are so many things that happen at kind of a subconscious level, and I think this was one of them. You know, I don't know that I verbalized everything that the conclusion that I came to. So anyway, it's top of the hour. Thank you for inviting me to your club. And if you ever, I work for a living. I will say, you know, I don't know if it's appropriate to say this in bad. You can tell me if I'm not lying, but I will occasionally take new students. I don't need to do it. I don't have the patience for new players, but you know, if you're interested, you can you know, shoot me an IM. But I don't do it very often, but I'll do it occasionally. So anyway, but I enjoy talking about. So, and I will give Andy our best. Absolutely, yeah. I talk to him all the time, and he's one of my best friends, and we're going to be playing in funds together. So, all right, guys.